The hospital billed me for a kidney transplant. I never had surgery, and both my kidneys are still there. The bill from Memorial Medical Center arrived on a Wednesday. $386,000 for a kidney transplant procedure performed on March 22, 2019. I stared at the itemized charges: surgical team fees, anesthesia, post-op recovery, immunosuppressant medications. The problem was simple. I'd never had surgery. I called the billing department expecting a quick correction. The woman who answered pulled up my account and confirmed everything cheerfully. Yes, Mr. Dalton, this is for your kidney transplant in 2019. You received a kidney from a deceased donor. Your insurance covered most of it, but you have a remaining balance of $24,000. I told her I never had a transplant, that I still have both kidneys, that I've never even been admitted to their hospital. Long pause. Then typing sounds. Sir, our records show you were admitted March 20th, checked in for pre-op screening, had surgery on the 22nd, and were discharged March 30th. We have consent forms with your signature. Is this regarding a billing dispute? My chest tightened. I'm telling you, I never had surgery. I was at work that entire week. I can prove it. More typing. Mr. Dalton, I'm transferring you to patient services. This is beyond billing. I waited on hold for 8 minutes while my mind raced. Identity theft, medical fraud, someone using my insurance. The patient services supervisor came on, voice tense. Mr. Dalton, can you come to the hospital today? There's something in your file that requires immediate verification. I left work early and drove to Memorial. The supervisor met me in a private office with my medical file. Thick manila folder. She opened it carefully and turned the pages toward me. Pre-op photos, surgery notes, post-operative progress reports. Then she pulled out a consent form with a signature that wasn't mine, but was close enough to pass. We need you to verify something, she said quietly. Can you prove you still have both kidneys? I lifted my shirt. No surgical scars. Nothing. She stared. This doesn't make sense. We have documentation of the entire procedure. The surgeon's notes, recovery records, follow-up appointments you attended for 6 months. She pulled out more papers. You were prescribed anti-rejection medication. You picked up prescriptions. You came to appointments. I shook my head. I've never been to this hospital before today. I don't take any medications. Whoever came to those appointments wasn't me. She made a phone call to hospital security, then another to their legal department. That's when she pulled out the transplant registry confirmation. The kidney I supposedly received had been documented with the National Organ Network. My name, my social security number, my insurance information. If I didn't receive it, someone else did. And they'd been living as me for 5 years. Hospital security brought in the surgeon who performed the procedure. Dr. Whitfield studied me carefully. You look different. Thinner face, different hair. He pulled up photos from the file. The man in pre-op looked similar to me. Same general build, similar features, but it wasn't me. Whoever this is, Dr. Whitfield said slowly. They provided your ID, your insurance card, and knew enough personal information to pass verification. They were desperate for a kidney and somehow obtained your identity. Security pulled archived visitor logs. The patient who used my name had regular visitors. A woman named Linda, a man named Frank. Both signed in multiple times. Security ran their names. Linda Carver, Frank Carver. My hands went numb. Linda Carver was my ex-girlfriend from 2018. We dated for 8 months. She had access to my wallet, my insurance cards, my personal documents. We broke up badly. She moved across the country. I hadn't thought about her in years. Hospital administration called the police while I sat frozen in that office. Everything suddenly made horrible sense. The insurance premium increases I'd been fighting. The denied coverage for my actual medical needs because I'd supposedly maxed out my lifetime transplant benefit. The collections notices I'd disputed and assumed were scams. The credit report dings I couldn't explain. For 5 years, someone had been living with my kidney, using my insurance, attending follow-ups under my name, taking expensive immunosuppressant drugs on my policy, and I'd been paying for all of it without knowing. The detective who arrived asked if I knew my current kidney function levels. I didn't. He suggested I get tested immediately. If someone stole your medical identity for a transplant, they might have stolen more than paperwork. He pulled out his notepad. We need to find out who actually needed that kidney and what else they've done using your name. The test results came back 3 days later. Both my kidneys were fine, functioning normally, but my medical records now showed I was a transplant recipient with 1 failed kidney and 1 donor kidney. Insurance companies had flagged me as high risk. My prescription history showed medications I'd never taken, and somewhere out there, someone was living with an organ they obtained by stealing my identity.